Before you start, our next poet is PR Murry. He's got a long history of working in poetry with groups including Worthless Words, Tongue Circus, Apples and Snakes. He's now, of course, part of the Dodo Modern Poets organisation, i.e. that's us two. And he's got a book for sale, which I'll just tell you what it's called. Pete's book has a wonderful title, Son of the Glowing Night Soil of the Concealed Emu. So there you are, and over to Pete.
Thank you. Well, in this half I'm going to do quite a lot of political stuff and a couple of items of menswear to finish with. But I often go to central London over the years to demonstrate about various things, and it's a strange place to go, because as well as demonstrators you often find tourists, and the two things get mixed up, and some strange consequences happen sometimes. I walk through the grounds of the Abbey, lost in my meditation, with a burden that I carry, a banner for a demonstration. Tourists swarm around me, some move in files like ants, crawling over history, consuming what's left behind. Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going home.
Okay. Anyway, perhaps they see the grand buildings, the cornices, gargoyles and spires, but I see through this feudalist frippery to class power that lurks inside. I unfurl my flag of protest, hoist on a telescopic pole. There are slogans and placards around me, Parliament's close and remote. We are free to shout on a pavement. Orators can urge and rant, but concrete barriers and armed police keep power and powerless apart. London traffic never falters 1 second. It's always got somewhere to go. Solidarity with strikers shall not obstruct its flow. Tourist buses pass us, and phones and cameras click as a demo is turned into data and nailed on a selfie stick. We're all just part of a spectacle that the tourists may later replay. They saw a real, genuine demonstration, heard protesters chant and shout with flags and placards and banners. But what was it all about? And if you went to that area last Friday, you would have known what it was all about. And so this is a poem for, you'll guess which young woman it's for. She was the one who started something quite big, I hope. Which drop of water will be the one that trickles down from the melting glacier into the ocean and raises the sea level enough to breach the flood barriers of the city? And which tiny pebble freed from the ice will roll, knock 2 more pebbles into motion, then knock 2 more, which then move a rock, which strikes a boulder to roll, taking more with it until whole hillsides fall down over airports, railways, roads and towns. And which schoolgirl can move a few to join the cause, who then move more and more and more until there are millions in the streets across the world saying, stop your greed, mean the damage that you have done. We will not let your stupidity wreck our only home. Okay, and on the same theme, we are the bald monkeys from a planet in the Milky Way. We rush around in our tin cans from place to place to place. We can make machines of wondrous power and also vast heaps of trash. We'll kill wild forests and elephants. We'll turn our planet to ash. We are such curious creatures. We always want to know, so we cut others up to see how they work, and when they're dead, we know. We think that we're so intelligent, but we don't seem to realise there is no planet B for us to colonise. So unless we treat Earth and its life with care and with respect, the oceans will rise and erase us as a failed experiment. It reminds me a bit of the black-eared dog that Lee was talking about, only I wish it was so easy we could just bang things and it would all go away. But there were some people a few years, well, quite a long while ago now, who saw what was coming and began to think about what you could do to prevent, you know, the damage that we're doing with technology, or how we can perhaps make a better technology. Factories in Willesden and Birmingham, not where you go unless you got paid to build parts for bombers and tanks, for this is where they were made. And those who made those weapons knew what the things they made could do to men and women like them. But then again, you must sell what you can sell to pay for food and a roof as well. The system that sets a worker's price isn't ever kind or nice, and in the case of Lucas Aerospace, compassion had no place in such calculations. So redundancies were the fix applied in 1976. The workers' unions would not comply. We can still work, they said, and they asked why they could not now make machines not intended to kill and burn. We could design the blades that turn with the wind to make clean power, devise car engines that make fewer fumes. We could be building kidney machines, be saving lives, not taking. And none of this was just wild dreams, because they built the prototypes of socially useful technology, but management refused to see, and only words and sympathy came from Labour and the TUC, so it all amounted to a might have been, but one that some still remember, to remind us what we could have seen. Instead of planetary destruction driven by greed, a world where workers control their work and produce for human need. Pie in the sky, some may say. And pie in the sky is something we often buy. And the reason we buy it is because we're told to. And this is how we're told. The people who wish to make you buy are scabless, clean and smiling, without discharges, problems or pimples. They sell you frozen slices from their nice lives. They do things to their nice husbands. They provide things for their nice wives, and by some unseen process reproduce perfect model children who smilingly consume bowls of cereal and sometimes have plaster stuck on them. Their parents travel every evening on deserted roads in new cars across the High Sierra to dinner parties where character actors recommend brands of sherry to them. They can go on holiday whenever they want. They use soft toilet paper, but they never shit. And the worst thing that can ever happen to them is a headache, which pills instantly cure. I wish my life could be like theirs, but no matter how many things I buy, I've still got discharges, problems, pimples and an egg stain on my shirt. And I always keep falling over whenever I try to run down a beach in slow motion. The things I buy get tarnished by my life. Perhaps it's because I pay for them. The people in the adverts never do. Okay, as I said, I'm finishing off with a couple of items of menswear. Patrick mentioned one of these earlier, starting right at the bottom. It's the sock. And this is called Adam Smith's sock problem. Sock, 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 emergency. There are no socks upon my feet. There are no socks that I can see. Sock, sock, socks, immediately. Woke up in the morning, birds are singing in the tree, but I see toes in front of me. So I seek socks with great urgency. Sock, 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 emergency. There are no socks upon my feet. There are no socks that I can see. Sock, sock, socks, immediately. My socks are vermin dirty or my socks are soaking wet, but I've got to wear them or go barefoot. I've got a marked absence of hosiery. It's a sock, sock, sock emergency. There are no socks upon my feet. There are no socks that I can see. Sock, sock, socks immediately. But am I going to sit here till my feet grow fur? No, I'm going to get up and get going. Be a sock entrepreneur. Sock, sock, sock. Emergency, there are no socks upon my feet. There are no socks that I can see. So I'm going to start a sock factory. I'm going to raise some capital, going to go it alone. Get the third world kids knitting in a free trade zone. Sock, 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 emergency. There are no socks upon my feet. There are no socks that I can see. Make more socks immediately. Now I've started moving, I ain't going to stop like a shark in the water. I keep swimming or I drop. I won't let anyone else make socks. It's a sock, sock, sock emergency. You've all got to buy your socks from me. I've wiped out competition, so now you see, I've got a sock, sock, sock monopoly. And trousers and old age. Two things that are close to me. I want telepathic and telekinetic trousers now. I want truths that can think. I want strides that don't shrink away from the intellectual effort of obeying my unspoken commands and climb up my legs smoothly and coolly without any word from my mouth or tug from my hands. I want leg wear that's always there when I want it and never there when I don't. As a youth, I never thought of trousers in terms of on and off, but age and arthritis have changed the nature of the leg-cladding game. Getting dressed and undressed is now a ruthless 15-round wrestling match as I curse and swear and sometimes tear at those obstinate tubes of cloth. My feet get stuck inside them. My knees go crack, crick and crack as I clutch at the wall in case I fall like a tortoise onto my back. But tortoises don't wear trousers. They have more sense than aged old apes. They go around nude, as perhaps I should, or wear a skirt or a kilt or a cape, instead of fighting my trousers in a daily attritional war, which I can't win and neither can they, till we both exist no more. I'll be cremated in my trousers. Together, flesh, bone and cloth will burn until trousers and I can both rest in peace in a tasteful funerary urn.